End Sunday dread. It starts as a whisper, a quiet, unsettling hum beneath the surface of your Sunday afternoon. You're trying to relax, to soak up the last precious hours of freedom, but the hum grows louder. It's the sound of the approaching week. The deadlines, the meetings, the commute, the difficult conversations. Before you know it, that whisper becomes a roar of anxiety, and your Sunday, a day meant for rest and rejuvenation, has been stolen. It's been sacrificed on the altar of Monday morning. This feeling, this creeping, pre-work dread, is so common we've given it a name, the Sunday Scaries. It's a modern malady, a thief of time and peace. But what if I told you that the key to defeating this modern anxiety wasn't found in a new productivity app or a mindfulness trend, but in the 2,000-year-old wisdom of a Roman philosopher? What if the most powerful tool for reclaiming your weekend was forged in the mind of a man who faced exile, political intrigue, and the constant threat of a tyrannical emperor? His name was Seneca, and his philosophy offers us what we'll call the Sunday shield. This isn't about ignoring the reality of the week ahead. Stoicism is not about blissful ignorance or toxic positivity. It's about building a robust, resilient mind. The Sunday shield is a mental fortress, an active defense system you construct not out of steel, but out of perspective, preparation, and principle. The core idea is breathtakingly simple, yet profoundly transformative. Seneca, like all Stoics, believed we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The Sunday Scaries are a perfect example of this. You aren't actually in the stressful Monday meeting yet, you are in your living room. You aren't dealing with a difficult client, you are sipping a coffee. The suffering is entirely a product of your mind projecting itself into a future it cannot control, and in doing so, it's poisoning the present moment it does control. The foundation of the Sunday shield rests on the most fundamental principle of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. There are things we can control and things we cannot. We cannot control that Monday will arrive. We cannot control our boss's mood or the number of emails in our inbox. But we can, absolutely 100%, control how we prepare for these things and how we choose to respond. The Sunday Scaries thrive in the space of passive apprehension. You feel like a passenger in a car speeding towards a wall, your hands tied. The Stoic approach, the Sunday shield, is about grabbing the steering wheel. It's about shifting from being a passive victim of the coming week to an active architect of your response to it. So, how does this work in practice? It begins by understanding what the shield is designed to defend against. That feeling of dread is rooted in a loss of autonomy. During the week, our time is often not our own. The weekend represents a brief return to self-governance. Sunday evening feels like that autonomy is slipping through our fingers. The shield works by reasserting that autonomy in a small but powerful way. It's not about doing more work on Sunday. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about performing a specific, limited, and intentional act of preparation that calms the anxious mind and signals that you are, in fact, ready and in control. This act of preparation is a declaration. It tells the anxious, future-tripping part of your brain, I see the challenge ahead and I am prepared. You can stand down. Seneca himself was a master of this. As a powerful statesman, advisor to the Emperor Nero, and one of the wealthiest men in Rome, his weeks were filled with unimaginable pressure. He understood that peace of mind wasn't something you find, it's something you create. He wrote in his letters, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." This wasn't a call for hedonism, but a command to inhabit the present moment fully. The Sunday shield is the tool that allows us to do that. It contains the anxieties about the future so they don't spill over and ruin the present. It's a disciplined practice of looking ahead, just for a moment, not with fear, but with strategic calm. It's about deciding that your Sunday will be a day of peace and preparation, not panic and procrastination. Throughout this video, we will deconstruct this ancient wisdom and reassemble it into a practical step-by-step system. We will show you how to forge your own shield, how to reframe your thoughts about the week, and how to create a simple ritual that will end the cycle of weekend dread forever. You will learn to stop letting the shadow of Monday ruin the sunshine of Sunday. You will reclaim your time, your peace, and your weekend. Forging your shield, the Stoic mindset shift. Now that we understand the why behind the Sunday shield, let's get into the how. How do we actually forge this mental armor? It begins with a radical shift in mindset, taking a common human tendency, worrying about the future, and transforming it from a destructive habit into a constructive tool. The Stoics had a specific practice for this, often misunderstood as being negative or pessimistic. It's called ora malatai, which translates to the premeditation of evils. Now, stay with me. This sounds like the exact opposite of what you'd want to do on a Sunday. Why would we want to think about bad things? But the Stoic application of this concept is pure genius. It's not about wallowing in potential misery. It's about a calm, rational, and strategic rehearsal. Think of it like a fire drill. The purpose of a fire drill isn't to make you terrified of fire every day. The purpose is to make you so familiar with the escape route that if a fire does occur, you don't panic. You act. The Sunday shield turns worry into a fire drill for the mind. Instead of the vague, amorphous anxiety of Monday is going to be awful, you get specific. You calmly and briefly visualize the potential challenges of the week. Let's say you have a presentation on Tuesday you're nervous about. The anxious, untrained mind will just spin in circles. What if I mess up? What if they don't like it? What if the tech fails? This is passive worrying. It has no endpoint and offers no solution. The Stoic shield-building approach is completely different. It's an active, if-then preparation. You sit down for 10 minutes and think, okay, the tech might fail. The projector dies. I will have my presentation printed out as a handout and will continue the talk seamlessly. Or, I might get a tough question I can't answer. That happens, I will calmly say, that's an excellent point that requires more detail than I have right now, but I will find the answer and get back to you by the end of the day. Do you see the difference? The anxiety has nowhere to go. You've just closed its escape route. You've rehearsed the difficulty and planned your response. You haven't eliminated the possibility of a problem, but you have eliminated the unprepared for it. You've taken an unknown threat and turned it into a manageable scenario. This process is the first layer of your shield. It's the act of facing the future on your own terms. To make this practical, you can create a simple pre-week triage ritual. Take 15 minutes on Sunday evening. Not 2 hours, 15 minutes. Open a notebook and write down the top 3 things that are causing you the most apprehension about the coming week. Be specific. Not my job, but the 10 a.m. budget meeting on Monday. For each one, perform the if-then exercise. Write down one potential challenge and your prepared, rational response. This simple act is incredibly powerful. It moves you from the emotional, reactive part of your brain to the logical, problem-solving part. You're no longer a victim of the future, you're a strategist planning for it. The second critical mindset shift is a concept the Stoics called ura morphatai, or a love of one's fate. This doesn't mean you have to be thrilled about a stressful week. It means accepting the reality of the week for what it is, without resistance. Resistance is what creates suffering. Saying, "I wish it wasn't Monday," or "this week is going to be terrible," is a form of resistance. It's arguing with a reality you cannot change, which is a guaranteed way to lose and feel miserable. Ura morthatai is the calm acceptance that says, "Okay, this week is what it is. It contains challenges and it contains opportunities. I will face both with virtue and resilience." Combining these two mindsets creates a powerful synergy. The Ora Malatai prepares you for the specific challenges, and Koponis provides the calm, accepting foundation upon which you face the week as a whole. It's the difference between being a brittle branch that snaps in the wind and a flexible bamboo that bends and sways without breaking. So your new Sunday mantra becomes, "I will prepare for what I can, and I will accept what I must." This isn't a complex, time-consuming overhaul of your life. It is a targeted, surgical strike against the root cause of Sunday anxiety. It is the conscious decision to stop letting your imagination run wild with fear and to start using your reason to build a plan. This is the intellectual and emotional core of the Sunday Shield. It's the forging process. In the next block, we'll discuss how to build a full Sunday ritual around this core, turning your entire day into a source of strength and tranquility. Block 3. The Sunday Ritual. Putting the shield into practice. A mindset is powerful, but a ritual makes it real. Forging the shield is the mental work. The Sunday ritual is how we put that shield on and integrate it into our lives. This is where we transform Sunday from a waiting room for Monday into a day of intentional restoration and empowerment. The goal is to design a day that systematically starves your anxiety and feeds your tranquility. This ritual has 3 distinct phases: the morning reset, the afternoon reconnection, and the evening fortification. Remember, this is a menu of options, not a rigid prescription. Your shield should be custom fit to you. Phase 1, the morning reset. The battle for Sunday is often won or lost in the first hour. The cardinal rule is this: the first hour of Sunday is a technology-free sanctuary. No news, no social media, and absolutely no work email. Checking your email first thing on a Sunday is like inviting a vampire into your house. You are voluntarily letting the week's anxieties flood your mind before you've even had a chance to build your defenses. Instead, use this first hour to ground yourself in the present. Here are some Stoic-inspired options. 1. A gratitude walk. Go outside and for 15 minutes, just notice the world around you. The feeling of the air, the sound of birds, the details of a leaf. As Seneca noted, true wealth is not having much, but wanting little. This practice cultivates an appreciation for the simple, present good. 2. Journaling. Not a Dear Diary entry, but a Stoic reflection. Write down one thing from the past week you handled well, and one thing you could have handled better without judgment. This builds self-awareness. 3. Read something philosophical or inspirational. Spend 20 minutes with the words of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, or any wisdom that lifts your perspective above the daily grind. You are setting the intellectual and emotional tone for the day. Phase 2, the afternoon reconnection. A huge part of our resilience comes from our relationships. Seneca wrote extensively on the importance of true friendship. Midday Sunday is the perfect time to reinforce these bonds. The anxious mind tends to isolate itself, turning inward and ruminating. The Sunday ritual actively counteracts this. This doesn't have to be a huge social event. It can be as simple as having a deep, focused conversation with your partner, with your phones put away. It could be calling a family member or a close friend just to check in. The key is quality, not quantity. Share your strength and draw strength from others. This act of connection reminds you that you are not facing the week alone. It pulls you out of your own head and into the shared human experience, which is a powerful antidote to anxiety. This is also a great time for activities that put you into a state of flow, where you are so absorbed in an activity that you lose track of time. This could be gardening, painting, playing a musical instrument, or cooking a complex meal. These activities are meditative and powerfully anchor you in the now. Phase 3. The evening fortification. This is where we formally enact the mindset shift we discussed in the last block. As the sun begins to set, instead of letting the dread creep in, you initiate your shield forging ritual. This should be a scheduled, non-negotiable 15 to 20-minute appointment with yourself. Find a quiet spot, put on some calming music. This is your pre-week triage. You take out your notebook and perform the exercise. Identify your top 3 stressors for the week and create your if-then plans. Once this is done, you close the notebook. This is crucial. By closing the book, you are psychologically compartmentalizing. You are telling your brain, the planning is complete, the strategy is set. There is nothing more to be done on this topic until tomorrow. This act provides a profound sense of closure. Following this brief planning session, the rest of your evening should be dedicated to winding down. This is the final polish on your shield. Engage in activities that are calming and screen-free. Take a warm bath, read a novel, listen to a podcast. Prepare your clothes and lunch for the next day. These small acts of order and preparation are signals of control to your brain, further reducing anxiety. You are creating a calm, orderly glide path into the week rather than a chaotic, stressful crash landing. By following this 3-part ritual, you systematically dismantle the conditions in which the Sunday Scaries thrive. You replace mindless distraction with mindful engagement, passive worry with active preparation, and anxious isolation with meaningful connection. You don't just survive your Sunday, you conquer it. You end the day not with a sense of dread, but with a quiet confidence. The shield is in place. You are ready. Try it this Sunday. Reclaim your weekend. Your future self will thank you.